When I break up with somebody in a relationship, my most of the time it's to show them how to treat me. You teach a person how to treat you with your absence, especially the opposite sex. If you tell them that you feel deeply about something, leaving about it should indicate how much you actually do care about that thing you asked them to stop doing. It should indicate how much pain it brings you for them to do it. You know, usually for smart women, that's the first thing that come to mind when you leave. Usually that's the first thing that come to mind when you leave after having an argument of expressing what hurt you, what you're feeling, and them not taking that in well. Once they don't take it in well, 9 times out of 10, you gonna respond in removing yourself, right? Because it's like, oh, you gonna argue with me about me coming to you and being considerate and empathetic by telling you and not letting you get blind-eyed, not blind-eyeing you from my uncomfortabilities, which will make me frustrated, which will make a person uncomfortable. So they will probably in return make you uncomfortable, right? Because that negative energy. So I'm trying to help you be able to see that. And when they don't do that, and when they don't see it like that, and it makes things worse. But I was taught that you teach a person how to treat you by removing yourself. If that don't work, they just ain't care about you enough. You know what I'm saying? It ain't never been about a game. And it's crazy because most of the women I've been with, which kind of act like girls, I wish I picked women. But unfortunately, my mind wasn't clear when I picked them. And my judgment was clouded. But that's how it definitely should work. So yeah, man, if you want to teach a person that you're serious, you can't be afraid to leave. And I only just say that instead of walking you through the rest because of what it takes to leave. I'm just gonna say that instead of doing that because everything I've been through in my life that was tough is what led me to understanding so clearly, or being able to be that as strong to walk away and understanding that it's hard. Every single time that I walked away, it was fucking extremely hard because I'm leaving somebody I love, right? Even when you first get with them, the love ain't as deep, but they don't have as many flaws then, or at least you don't know them or see them yet. So you're really loved by them, or you're really, all in, face in. But the other crazy part about the other one is once it's long term and you leave them, the type of love that you got for them is still deep or even deeper because you see their flaws and everything, and you still love them, with the flaws. So the love then grew to something even more stronger, into family, because now you constantly accepting them for who they are and still sticking around, although they mistreating you, and not just blatantly mistreating you, but making promises and then breaking them, and you sticking around a little bit. and giving them chances before you just take off. But when I first started, I used to just take off. But man, every single time that shit hurted. Every single time it was like ripping a knife out of my stomach. Every single time after a few days, it was like felt like constantly getting stabbed in the chest, right there in the heart. You know, sometimes minutes will come by moments will come by me after there's a couple days after the breakup that I will just feel constant pain, you know, it's breathtaking pain. Like, a lot of women that I've been with, they usually think when I break up with them, you know, that it's easy. I make it look easy because my life been so hard. And so I know very clearly between right and wrong. And I know when they right, when they wrong. And I be confident. And I have a confidence in righteousness. You know, if that makes sense. I be so geeked about me being so right, and that I have clarity on this situation that I don't think about nothing else, and I'm like, I know what's the next step to this plan, to this map, is to remove myself, because if you know that they're wrong about something, the next step, once you find out, is to remove yourself and teach them how to treat you, because constantly talking could make them lose respect for you. So I guess I'd rather for them to lose respect for me by being upset that I constantly leave than me to stay and they constantly hear me talking and asking, and then after a while them not doing stopping what I'm asking them to do. After a while, it turns into begging, and now I'm begging them to please stop. And it's like, damn, I might as well took the hard route and just constantly left you. At least I would have still had my dignity, just in, you know, if you wasn't going to ever change in the first place. If you never was going to care about how you make me feel in the first place, I might as well did the thing that was best for me every single time. And I know that it's hard for them to see me leaving constantly. That shit rip your heart out your chest. It probably does every time. And after a minute, they want to get numb to it. It's a choice. They don't have to get numb to it, but most of them choose to. It's a cop-out. But if they allow themselves to constantly feel the pain because they know they're wrong, then that'd be a strong woman. Because she don't put what's right, she don't put what's wrong before her feelings. If it's wrong, then she expects herself to feel bad. A real woman. But, because this is one of my quotes. If I'm wrong, then let me feel the pain. I don't, like, if I'm mistreating somebody, then let me feel my pain. If that's naturally from the higher power, is what I'm feeling. But if somebody has inflicted it on me on purpose, then it's not the will of the higher power, which means I wouldn't believe it. It's genuine. But when it is, trust and believe, I want to endure it. Because when I'm feeling pain for mistreating somebody, that's my sign, that's my signal. That's my turn signal for, hey Don, you hurted somebody. So now that I got that sign, I know to go back and apologize. And I won't leave. It'll be one less person out here that's left with hurt. You know what I'm saying? In a relationship. I just don't want to be that person, that man that have their partner in pain constantly. I never wanted none of this shit. I never wanted none of this shit to happen, to constantly happen. I wanted to be happy. But the reality of it was that shit wasn't just gonna drop in my lap. The reality of it was when two people come together, and if one especially not educated on emotional intelligence, they don't have like that much background of research and experience in emotional intelligence, and experience and psychological traumas that they have, then they really wouldn't, that's gonna be a partner that's y'all bound to have some problems. And it might not be because most of the time it might not be because both of y'all wrong and y'all just want to bump heads. Most of the time it's gonna be that person that's got that trauma and that got that lack of experience. And so most of the time for me in a relationship it's easy to tell who's wrong. It's not that hard. Most of the time my partners have lack of experience and they need time to grow into a lot of stuff that I'm saying. And it's unfortunate and it's sad because I lose a lot of my partners to that. Yeah, but that's the life that I chose when I chose to be a driven, educated black man. This is the life I chose. Before I even had girlfriends, I chose to be a type of man that, that just was gonna fight for a bigger purpose, and it's gonna be driven. In that decision of choosing to be driven and stuff like that, in life came a lot of challenges, and I beat a lot of them challenges. But by me beating them, it made me become a man that a man that faced a lot of adversity and came on top a lot of times. Gave me a lot of experience with dealing with problems and shit, and learning. It built character. Now I got morals. I know what to do, what not to do. And what's cool, how you mistreat people. Because I done been in situations where people have been mistreated, or I have mistreated someone, and they told me how they feel. Then I discovered empathy. Like, what a lot of women don't know that was in my past is like, I had experienced all the shit I'm asking from them. It's just, I was a good student. I know I'm young, but I was a good student. I paid attention well to the lessons of life. When I found out that the more well that you know the world, and as much as you understand the world is in a direct accordance to how well you thrive in this world. So if you learn this world, you will be better off in this world. If you don't learn how this world works, how the universe react to you, you're not paying attention to how is your reaction giving you the results that you want? Your reactions to this world, is it giving you the results that you want? If you're not paying attention to that, then 9 times out of 10, you hard-headed. And you got to keep on failing at something to pay attention and catch the result. It's like, that's the type of people that coincidentally, that I'm always telling them to their face that you playing too much. Most of the time, them the people in the world that play too much, because you're grown and you still don't not understand it. You don't have a lot of experience in how the world works. And it's not because the world wasn't teaching you. This shit teaches us every day, 24/7. The world is teaching you how the universe and the world work. And you don't even have the fucking intelligence to sit here like, what are you focused on? If you wasn't focused on that shit is really crazy. Like, I'm focused on fun. Like, what in the fuck is you even talking about? How did you get to living for pleasure? And matter of fact, that's a dumb question because I know exactly why, right? Most people that experience trauma like myself, they let me stop. I could go on forever, man.